What inspired you to become a mental health professional? I became a mental health professional because it allows me to live out my values. I believe that human beings need one another for their survival and for healing. I also believe that each individual has the power within to be able to overcome so much adversity, but we're able to overcome it a lot easier, a lot better, a lot more successfully if we can do it with social support and a strong community. What populations do you specialize in, and what drew you to the particular focus? I've worked with various populations in the Greater Toronto area. However, I worked professionally alongside other first responders when I was a mental health crisis worker. And it wasn't until this role that I realized how little education first responders are given when it comes to mental health, and the lack of resources that were out there for them when they experience psychological injuries. I don't believe that our communities can afford to turn a blind eye to the mental health needs of first responders, because when they suffer, the entire population suffers. And so that's when I decided to shift my focus in my career to specialize in this population. How do you create a safe and comfortable environment for your clients during sessions? Even as a mental health professional, I have to remind myself that for the person who's walking into my door for the first time, I'm just a stranger. That helps me remember how important trust and safety is throughout the treatment, and especially when I'm first meeting with someone. If they can trust me and feel safe, then it's easier for them to open up, to express themselves, and also be open to a dialogue. Transparency is one of the first things I do when I meet an individual for the first time. I explain to them confidentiality, my expectations as a therapist, their rights as clients, and my approach to treatment, so that they're not left questioning what the process is going to look like. I also use empathic listening as a form of validation, which also goes a long way in building rapport, safety, and trust. Can you share a memorable experience you had while working with a client? I remember a time not too far off into the distance when I worked with a client who had lost faith in therapy and said that her former therapist was aggressive, invalidating, and judgmental, causing her to feel dehumanized and believing that she was. After helping her overcome some of her mental health issues, she told me that she finally experienced how meaningful therapy was, that she felt heard, she felt supported, and she felt human again. That was a memorable time. How do you prioritize self-care and maintain your own well-being? I explore what it means to me to disengage from my therapy mind at the end of the day and to prioritize myself. I tap into my inner child to see what play will look like on my spare time. I tap into my exhaustion to see what sort of rest I need. One of the passions that I had in the past that I just kind of put on the back burner that I'm bringing out for 2024 is swimming and building mastery in swimming.